Good evening, beautiful friends here and members of this channel. Two things first before we go into shipping. I just briefly looked through the charts and I have some, shipping is rocking it. It's still, a lot of the charts are looking absolutely fantastic. Some of them are breaking out. FRO is just massively bullish. I want to show you in just a bit. I just sent out my review here on the Tesla chart for the members only. I think there could be some opportunities in Tesla. I think it's a very underlooked chart, hated at the moment. It hasn't done anything for like 2.5 years. We're looking through the setup, the possibilities, and the possible game plan. I think it will evolve within, roughly 8 weeks or so. Also, yesterday I did my, every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I do my talk with Borak. He has the first part on uranium. Fantastic technical analysis. Second part is gold and silver, oil, gas, the NASDAQ as well. So check it out. Brand new from my good friend Borak. Yes, I don't have any further, info to make here. Besides, we're going into shipping. Shipping. I really like the shipping sector, especially the dividends. If you can get a great entry, you can have a stock that you can hold for like 2 years while you're getting paid, and you have 50, 100% upside. Lovely. The BDRY here, the Baltic Dry Index, again here, ever since we came down to the neckline and the left shoulder low there at roughly, let's call it 1300, we are actually getting a bounce. That is beautiful for now. Ideally, we want to get back above that 30 weekly moving average. But again, there is a lot of short-term momentum coming down here that needs to be undone. I don't think we will see a rocket like that. I would be surprised. I think we're having, some sort of grinding to do before we eventually go higher. So as long as we are above these two lines there, it's all good. It really is all good. BDI here, the BDRI, excuse me, the breakweave dry bulk shipping ETF. Again, that's an amazingly long name. Stunningly bullish here again, my view. We are above these highs here. We had that tiny spring here, boom, blasted to the upside. So buy the dips is my view. How would I buy the dips if I were this? I would just maybe do a measure here. We have 30% drawdown there. Here we have, let's call it 25. So basically, 20% dips is probably when you start to buy in if you want to have exposure to this one here. The 30 weekly is coming up sharply. And I do think as long as we're having this uptrend here, the next level to go through is roughly 19. Still very bullish overall for the shipping ETF. Star Bulk Carriers Corp here, SBLK. Also, still within that beautiful stage 2 uptrend, higher highs. We are making some sort of wedge pattern here. Definitely, we have this false breakout here, and as always, well, not always, we are coming down to visit that lower trend line. So we might see, if we start to break here, we might see a dip in here. Again, that should get bought up here, given the fact that we are in a stage 2 uptrend. So that dip should and could be bought. 6% dividend, beautiful. And yeah, still the big level to get through is at these shoulder highs up here at roughly 25. When we get above there, in my view, we negate this whole topping pattern there, and we are looking for a lot more upside. CTRM, you can still see here we are grinding that golden trend line. Nothing new. I am confident that if this retest holds, right, and we want to pop, you will see a very quick move here. You will not be in doubt if this holds. There is no denying that. Actually, there you have your triangle. The top here is a bit iffy because you don't have a standout high. It's like, this cluster here, but the bottom is perfect. So again, here, if we start to see big candles with big volume coming in here, an entry can be made, and you should actually have your stop loss below the golden. GLBS, we want to go to the daily. The long-term stuff we have discussed many times, the previous breakouts and so on. And right now, what I'm focusing on is this bull flag here. There it is. And yeah, basically, this is the minor, the internal, the mid-size here, the splitter. You can see here, that's where we're moving now. We want to get to the upside, obviously, but for now, this is just after a massive move from roughly 1 to 3.20. We are just having this bull flag here, and hopefully it resolves to the upside at some point in time. Again, we have this internal bull flag here. If that breaks, again, you can have your entry, but the overall bull flag is definitely, you know, 2x the internal there. So still overall looks really, really bullish here. SB, I want to show you something fantastic here for SB. You can see right here. There it is. Massive, massive breakout here. I want to align it perfectly. I love it perfectly. Well, are we breaking out on the weekly? No, maybe not, but in close to. You can see we are on the border of a massive, oh, excuse me, of a massive breakout here for the SB. 5% dividend. Let's zoom in here on the daily. What's happening? Very important here. Golden trend line tag there. There it is. And we are basically, depending on how much time you want to spend on, you know, lining up the lines or the trend lines, we are looking really bullish here. So anything above these lows, insanely bullish. Last week I was a bit worried about that, you know, whipsaw there, you know, the breakout house. If you are the one who, there it is. So if you were placing it like that, you could have, you know, a false breakout. But again, we had a beautiful daily candle this Friday. So SB here is really trying to break out from a 15-year long golden trend line. And the 30 weekly is coming up nicely. We're in a stage 2 uptrend. I think this will be a long-term hold while you collect dividends. I'm very positive. Again, below 3.85, I think you should reevaluate. You can always get in again if we come down here and we start to grind. You can always re-enter, no worries. But you don't want to sit in here and then all of a sudden start to, you know, do like that. Then you are screwed, right? So don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Ship. Also, a 3-year long golden trend line broken there. Beautiful. And we did actually have no, we didn't have a retest there. That was a blue. But for now, we are into that white horizontal line there where we're getting rejected. And I have the one-liner here. I think if we break up to there, that's it. A great way to get on board on the ship stock here. It only pays 1% dividend, so you don't do this for the dividends. That's for sure. 30 weekly here, you can see coming up nicely. So again, we are in a stage 2 uptrend. We had the breakout retest confirmation of the stage 2 uptrend, and then boom. So weekly, you can see it here, higher highs and higher lows until proven otherwise, as I always say. But usually these triangles here, often they want to target that upper, you know, connection there. And then yes, we have resistance in these nodes as we come along on the way up. Again, people can take profit on the way up, depending on how you want to play it, scale out. But usually we have it want to target that one there. If we get there, it's fully within reason to just take everything off the table. Again, depending on how you want to do it, but definitely usually when we get there, we see a longer pause before we eventually go higher, and you can always re-enter. And in that period, your money can go elsewhere and, you know, have some gains there. D note here. My throat is a bit sore, excuse me. D note here again. There it is. Yes, there it is. You can see here. Still, we had that false breakdown there from the golden, and now we have a false breakdown here again. So it is definitely playing with that golden trend line. The good thing is now we have a confirmed rail. You can see it. We added in there. We have the confirmed rail. So definitely that is now our support. For D North to get really bullish, we have to get above that blue bull flag. It is really that simple. 3% dividend. So again, personally, how I would play this, I would wait for the break. You are, you know, 20% more to the upside, but also you can see here we have a lot of touches here, and yeah, it depends on how you want to play it here. Buying here on that rail is also a perfect viable option. So I'm not taking that out of the equation, but overall weekly bull flag here. There you have it. If you want to play the momentum, you wait for the breakout. EGLE still here looks incredibly well. What's happening now, in my view, is that we're coiling here at the breakout and we will pop higher. Getting below that level there, roughly 53, then you should just reconsider for now. Then that's probably a false breakout and we need a fourth go. Again, you can always re-enter. Taking a few percent losses here and wait is, in my view, and I have learned that the hard way, the right thing to do. Even though we are in the stage 2 uptrend here, breakout, retest of the breakout, and then boom, higher we go here. To me, this is coiling, and this one to go higher. This one pays 0 dividend, well, 1%. That's not why you do it for this case here. ESEA, as you can see here, what we looked at on, I think it was SHIP, we came into the triangle high, and we're getting sold off. So again, this doesn't mean that it's going to go down to 5 again, obviously not, but definitely profit taking from the breakout here. And then now a lot of people are just waiting for the next breakout, or any dip bias will come in, and then we'll probably go higher. Again, very strong weekly trend here on the 3rd weekly. The bull flag is broken to the upside. In my view, this is just a minor pause before we go into the big resistance here at roughly 70 to 70. What is it? Excuse me, 62 to 70. I think that will be some profit taking there as well. Overall, the big entry, yes, you guessed it, the broken golden trend line down here in 2021. Often if you can find these where you have a massive golden trend line, and this, I call them broken golden trend lines. If you have these long-term breaks, I mean, the risk reward is just incredibly strong. You can hold these for so long, many years, so you don't have to sit daily or weekly or monthly looking at the chart. You can just, look at it from time to time. GNK is a 3% dividend stock. Just recently broke out into, same thing again here. You can see the breakout attempt from into stage 2, retest, confirmation, higher we go. Again, buy the dips. That's all I can say after we broke that one here. It's screaming higher. You buy the dips in this one here. GOGL, Golden Ocean Group Limited, we're back into the bear flag. That's always a good thing to see. We are, again, it's a bit, I will say bearish, but again, this one could also just pop to the upside and go all the way to the upper of that bear flag. So definitely, it is doing a lot of good things. We are in a stage 2 uptrend here. If we get a dip down here again, you buy the dips in a stage 2 uptrend until proven otherwise. It really is that simple. And the way you do it can be done multiple ways. You measure the previous drawdowns and you make an assumption of, if this drops, let's say 5%, 10%, I'm a buyer. Or you can buy bull flags, or if you want to add in FIPS, you can also do that. Again, I will not go into detail on that. I don't use FIPS a lot. I have studied it, but I don't use it for my analysis. DSX here, again, the black sheep in the sector, still below the 30 weekly, still below that golden trend line here. So until we get that break and we undo a lot of damage here, then basically in my honest opinion, it's just to stay out until and if we get down to here, roughly 2.4 to 2.2, then you can buy that, mega retest there of that golden trend line, and you get a very low, in my view, and good low risk reward entry in that one here. Going on to the boat, that's the global shipping ETFs, still, going sideways here after that major gap up there. Resistance here. If this, as you know, this one, the 30 week is coming nicely. If we're coiling here, the highest probability is a blast higher here, and then that's your entry. Do we have any formations here that we can already add in? Maybe for now we can say that we have roughly, again, quickly drawn here, that might be our pennant, and usually they blast higher. So that's what we're looking for, and I think we have maybe maximum 3 weeks in that pennant until we, with the highest probability, blast higher. TNP, very interesting, very interesting what's happening here. We have been looking at that overall inverted head and shoulders, and right now you can see here actually this pays 2.5% dividend. Okay, that's not too bad, but we are really having a good attempt to break away from that pit right there. We have a weekly close above, but it's just barely. So let's wait and see what happens here. But on the monthly, you can see this is just incredibly bullish. Golden trend line broken, inverted head and shoulders. We have the neckline at roughly 24.25. This one could be a stock that you could hold for possibly 3-4 years really. If the dividends were higher, that would be a dream scenario. Beautiful. TNK, nothing new to add here. Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, it finally came into our long-term red resistance here, and we are getting a tiny pushback here. Again, overall the trend is strong. There's nothing wrong with the stage 2 uptrend here. It's, again, you buy the dips or you buy any longer term consolidations that come along, or retesting. I mean, if we get a full retest here after we are rejected here, that's a buying opportunity in my view. If we get there, I don't think so, to be honest. Or if we call up here and then we break higher, that's something that you have to buy if you're interested in these kind of shipping stocks here. Again, usually when I buy these shipping stocks, I want to have a dividend that is quite reasonable to hold it for 2 years, 2 year, 3 years time, depending on the chart. TORM here, good old TORM. That's a Danish company, by the way. This golden bull flag we are breaking out of, and as you can see again here, the first target or the big target is the high of that bull flag or that triangle. Boop, we can reject it, retest it here. So a break above there, above 257-ish, hugely bullish. Hopefully we can grind longer here, so we are coiling up for that massive move. I know TORM pays 18% dividend. Fantastic. Fantastically beautiful here. As you know, when we came here, I thought we were going all the way down here, and that would have been the perfect buying opportunity. 1, 2, 3 moves down. And but then obviously we had that situation with the shipping sector. INSV, again, it's a bit of an iffy chart, so I'm not that interested in it. It also only pays 1% dividend. So, but again, we are playing with the all-time highs. But again, I'm not seeing any clear formation that wants me to go in. Yes, breaking above all-time highs is never a bad thing. 30 weekly is coming up, so you can see the pullbacks are getting bought up here. So again, stage 2 uptrends, you buy the pullbacks. Boom, 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 you buy them. And this time is no different. DHT, lovely, guys. You know my take on DHT. This is the weekly, by the way. We have, at least I bought my first portion here, and we were waiting for a break here on that red trend line. Basically, my second clip is now in, so now I have my full position on this stock here. It pays roughly 9% dividend, lovely. So this could be, a move where we go from 11 to roughly 19. The reason 19 is we have that pivot, mega spike there in 2012. That will be major resistance. So again, this one could be a hold for roughly a year, while we go from 11 to 18, and you get 9% dividend. That's not too bad, really. That's quite astonishing. Also, you have to acknowledge that huge basing that were broken there. Basically, a massive inverted head and shoulders. The target, should we do it together? I haven't done this in a long time, actually, so maybe we will see how high we can go. This one could actually, the target for that inverted head and shoulders is 24. So you're basically looking at a double from here on that breakout. And again, anything below that green uptrend parallel there is where you're getting worried. So as long as we're in this green uptrend here, the 30 weekly is coming up nicely. You don't do anything, you sit on your hands, collect the dividends. Beautiful, lovely. STNG, Scorpion tankers here on the weekly. I want to go to the weekly there. Basically, we came into that mega, and I call that a mega resistance here. You also had that tag there. Green bull flag, and then we broke out here, retest, and ever since we have been in this lovely yellow uptrend here. And to me, we are going to visit, as I have been saying for the past many weeks, every time I've seen this chart, if we could break it here, we're going to roughly 83, which will be a test of that golden trend line there. And usually you don't break on the third. You have a tag, and then you are just playing with people's feelings here, and then you blast high on the fourth. So again, the big buy, if you're not in here, again, would I be a buyer here? Yes and no, depending on if you want to have a position. I wouldn't go all, use your entire clip. If you were to buy, that's fine. We are above the resistance here, which is now support. So again, and then you have your second clip for that possible massive breakout that could happen later on this year. NAT, again, I have one trend line for NAT. There it is. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll not go into details. FRO, as mentioned, boom. Weekly candle above, the first resistance line here. This is more of a zone. So again, now we're in that zone where there are a lot of resistance from previous price action. So yeah, definitely, as long as we're in that uptrend, you guessed it, you don't do anything. FRO also pays 12% dividend. Lovely, lovely. Ever since we started to cover the shipping sector, FRO has just been grinding higher, grinding in the stage 2 uptrend. Perfect. SIM. Oh, SIM. I didn't see that one when I looked at it here. You know my take on SIM. If you don't know it, here it is. So golden trend line broken, retested, came all the way up to that high there. So we now have the pits for the inverted head and shoulders, and we are getting buyers in here. So again, a break above, let's call it 15, 16, triggers a massive measured move to the upside. Boom. And right now we're finding buyers. We talked about it here. If we are getting buyers here, if you have a inverted head and shoulders where the shoulder highs, or the heights of the shoulders, both upward to the downside, are somewhat equal, that's beautiful. Typically, you actually want this to be stopping a bit earlier than the left shoulder for the prime example, but this is just straight up a great example nonetheless. So again, a break there triggers a massive measured move into the 30s, if I remember correctly here, for SIM, which was hated. But again, yeah, I have started to add in here the natural gas tankers. I haven't done the technicals yet. This will also be a part of maybe the shipping, or I will do it in 2 videos. Otherwise, the video will be way too long. Again, would you like to have it in this video as well, or should it be in separate? Leave it in the comments below. Then we can make, a separate video for natural gas tankers. It's totally up to you. Yeah, thank you again for tuning in. Shipping sector again looks good as ever. Nothing new has changed really from the past few weeks. We have had some mega breakouts this week. Also last week we had 2. Or was it 3? We had at least 2 big breakouts last week. And again, we have one here again for FRO. Shipping, lovely. Dividends, that's a great, thing to have, in my view, to have a portfolio purely on dividends. Having a great entry, you can ride the upside, and you collect dividends. That's beautiful. And I really liked having that somewhat stable investment plan for that part. So with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Shipping, we will look at it next week again, next Monday. As always, guys, stay safe. Bye.